Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Frederick, Colorado. My name's Taylor, and behind me is a 2023 Winnebago Adventure Wagon. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, it is a completely customizable DIY van. So everything is modular on the inside. The Winnebago's purpose for making this was to make it a little bit more easy and accessible for customers that would like to finance their customized van, as well as being fully insurable. So whenever you customize your own van, typically the only thing that's covered is going to be the chassis part, which is the heart of the coach, but all the modular stuff that you put on the inside of it isn't going to be covered. So now this is RVI certified, which gives you the flexibility of being able to have it completely insured as well as completely financeable. So let's go ahead and take a look about all the goodies that you get to kind of give you a nice good start, and you can always, customize it to your liking later on as well. All right over here, we just have our standard wheels and tires here and our Winnebago running board with the nice little W's on the inside with some grips. And then you do have the little tie down right here. Now, as you can see, we did some custom graphics for you. And I will just go ahead and open this door right now. It is an electric door, so you just go ahead and pull that handle and it'll automatically open up for you. And then, as you can see from first glance, we get a spare seat, so you can safely seat up to 3 people. And then you can always add in more seats later on too. So if you need to sit 4, 6, as many as you can fit in here, you could take everything out just so you can have like a nice little cargo van, or you can make it a nice little camper van. But I just wanted to give you a little brief glimpse to get your attention before we go inside. Let's finish the outside and then we'll come back in. Alrighty, right over here to the rear of the coach, we have some nice little stars here. I like the gray with the accents of white that kind of pop out, but you do have that backup camera. Nice big windows, which I'll open up and kind of block that sun. It's a little chilly, but very bright this morning. So I'll stand over here. You can go ahead and black out these shades, and they do magnet on and off, so you don't have to deal with any zippers or really buttoning it up. So I prefer the magnets. These don't open, but at least you do have the option of blacking them out. And then you do have 2 other windows that will open to kind of get that cross breeze right by that bed. Right now it's just kind of a standard modular how we put it together. So you have your full bed in the back, and then you have your huge EcoFlow right over here, which is your battery system. I kind of explain this as it being a mini electric generator. So this isn't going to power everything in the coach, but you can plug in whatever you do want to power directly into this battery. So you have the USBs, just regular 12 volts here, and then you also have the 30 amp that you can plug it in to kind of charge it a little faster. And then you can also customize it later on too, or you can plug it in and kind of wire it where you do have the battery charging your lights. But the only thing that's going to run off the chassis battery inside of here is going to be your lights, which we'll also get into once we get inside the coach. But since we're talking about the battery, I just wanted to point that out briefly. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and close it up, so you can see the cool graphics one more time, and then we will talk about the hitch. So you do have a nice hitch here. It is a 5,000 pound towing capacity with a 500 vertical weight, and you do already have the pre-wire for your brake lights. And then we just have some sensors in here, which is great for that backup camera and kind of gives you that peace of mind whenever you're backing it up. And you do have the angle, so if you did want to hook up a trailer, it makes it a little easier having that kind of point of view from your backup camera to narrow down at this hitch. All right, not too much for this side, just besides taking in the graphics, and you do have the dually tires in the back, which is going to help for a better ride and better stability. And then you have another running board over here on your driver's side, as well as those same tie downs. I'll go ahead and open up the door here. As you can see, typical with that Mercedes, it is nice and locked whenever you have your doors locked, and then you have that diesel, which is a 24.5 gallon diesel. Right over here for the seats, they're going to be all electric, so this is going to be your lumbar And then something that's cool right over here is the configurations to go forward, back, and recline forward and back as well. They're also going to be heated, which you have 3 different settings, kind of like a high, medium, and low. And then you have up to 3 memory settings for your seat. So if you have used this as a daily driver and more than one person's going to be driving, it does make it kind of nice, quick, and easy to just go ahead and push a button to kind of get it nice and set up for whoever is driving it. All right, now we'll go ahead and just kind of pop that hood, talk about a little bit more specs of the chassis, and then we'll finally work our way on the inside. Whoop. Alrighty, nice and locked and loaded. So this is going to be on the Mercedes-Benz. It's the 3.0 liter, 6-cylinder, 188 horsepower turbo diesel. So it's the 7G tonic automatic transmission with 220 amp hour alternator. And then you do have your DEF fill here. Very accessible and easy. I mean, you don't have to go to a pump just because it is fairly small. You could just use a gallon to go ahead and dunk it in there as well. And then you just have your coolant, your oil fill, and then your windshield wiper fluid. And then if you ever need to jump the chassis battery, you have your connectors from here, and then the second one right over there. But everything is fairly simple, within hand's reach, so you don't really need to go digging for anything. And it's not too hard to kind of go to your owner's manual and revert if you do have any other questions. They make it very easy and simplify everything, just in case you did want to troubleshoot anything on your own. Go ahead and button this back up. And now we'll finally take our first glimpse and walk on the inside. Alrighty. So I did just want to talk about these chairs briefly. We do have the nice little swivel effect here, so you can swivel these seats in, kind of make a little, you could put a little table here if you'd like to kind of make a dining room area. And then directly below that, safety always first, we have a nice little fire extinguisher, which is right next to the door. This is just another button that you could push to close your door, so you don't have to automatically come over here and push it and get it going. And you also have another secondary one that's going to be up here in our dash, but I'll show you that once we talk about all the dash stuff. This is going to be our nice little smart floor here, so that's why you are able to go ahead and snap in some extra seats. I like this because it is very safe, super sturdy. I mean, it doesn't even move really. And then you have that option for a 3-point seat belt instead of some, you know, RVs or other B vans. They only have that lap belt option. So it's not always as versatile and flexible to have that, especially for kiddos, or just, you know, kind of having that peace of mind that you're really strapped in nice and safe. Right over here is just going to be our little galley, which do have some storage underneath. Nice little metal rack here, and then Winnebago sets you up with a few supplies in here. Mainly this is going to be your little water fill. So I believe this is 3 gallons, maybe 5 if I was mistaken, but you can go ahead and just fill this up with your fresh water, and you can go ahead and filter through this little tube you got here, and then you will siphon it through this part here and plug it in to your electric portable pump. So you could just, you don't have to worry about any charging here. You could just take the top off and put in some batteries. So when the batteries die, you just pop in some new ones, turn it on and off. You just go ahead and tap it right here. So you can go ahead and activate that pump, and it'll start sucking it up right in here to your little portable sink. And because this doesn't have any black tanks or gray tanks, you don't have to worry about any dumping. It's kind of nice too during winter because you don't have to worry about any freeze damage. I mean, there's a lot of different advantages to not having to worry about that. Just something else you don't have to worry about or take care of. Just gonna shove these back in here real quick. All awkwardly at that, but okay. Kind of close up this galley, and as you could tell, Winnebago went ahead and put it on either side. So if you do take this out and put it over here, but you wanted your sink closer to the outdoors, so you go ahead and pop that up here, you'll be able to just go ahead and throw out that water. You won't really have to risk any spillage going on in here. So I've honestly been wanting to take some time out and put the galley here just to kind of rearrange some things, but I haven't got there just yet. And then right over here, kind of hard to see, you could use this as a little booster seat if you wanted, but you do have a nice little porta potty in here. That is about 2.5 gallons, which I'm sure you guys are, if you're familiar with this. But you have a nice, the tank right here for the black tank capacity is gonna be right over here, so you can go ahead and dispose of it as you need. But I call it the emergency, toilet. Just if you absolutely can't hold it, this is kind of what you use, but at least you do kind of have that to give you a peace of mind that if you were in an emergency situation, you have somewhere to go comfortably. Alrighty. Now I'll go ahead and step up here and show you, these are called meal bags. They do have nice little magnets inside of them as well, so you just fold it up. If you don't fold it up as perfectly, because the magnets are in here, it can kind of be a little bit more hard than it should be, but nice and folded about 3 times there. The zippers are pretty heavy duty. I mean, I've messed with them multiple times and nothing is more frustrating than a zipper when it doesn't zip. So I was very pleased with how heavy duty these are. And as far as it being not really water resistant, but you could tell it's fairly easy to clean and wipe down. And I like having that orange aspect in the side because if it is dark, having that bright orange kind of helps you pinpoint some things that are just, buried in there. Then you do have these nice little tie downs here where you can put some hangers, hang anything on them if you want, kind of get a little bit creative with it. But you get a total of 2 of these that are the smaller. And then I don't want to forget to mention that you do have some extra storage on the side here if you wanted to shove some stuff there as well. And then you get the 2 bigger ones that are nice through and through past storage. So if you have larger items, you have another place where you can store those as well. Alrighty, let me turn on the chassis battery just because I forgot to do that. I want to show you a cool feature of the lights. There we go. So as you can tell, when I turn that chassis battery on, whatever lights that I had on when I turned it off will automatically turn back on, because you do have to go around and push them, this nice little orange button, to turn them on and off. A cool feature is if you push it twice, it'll turn red. So it's kind of nice for nighttime light, doesn't really hurt the eyes as much. So if you have to get up in the middle of the night to take your dog out or to use the restroom and you're at a campground that has full setups for, walking out and using a restroom instead of using your emergency toilet, it's kind of nice to have these on instead of the bright light, so it's completely blinding you before you go on the outside. So each and every light will turn red. And there's a handful of lights all throughout. So it does get fairly bright in here. And then these are the covers I was talking to you about that will magnet up on those 2 back windows. And then you have 2 more windows here, the same exact concept. This is nice and fully insulated. And this van does have an upgraded insulation barrier. So it does help keeping it nice and warm and cool in here. Another thing you have is your Dometic fridge or freezer. You can go ahead and set the temperature down here, and this is something that you can also move around to. It doesn't have to be stationary here. And then directly below that, you do have some charging options. Just keep in mind, whatever you do plug into here, that is going to be running off of that chassis battery. So if your battery ever does get low, all you have to do is fire up that chassis and it'll start charging the chassis battery. All right, and then as you can see here, we have more of these little on the roof with little pins. So you can go ahead and tie things down. That gives us the flexibility of moving down these meal bags wherever we want. And then also, giving us the option of highering and lowering our bed. Of course, the little wheelbase down here kind of gets in the way, so you can't put it completely on the floor, but you can put it pretty low. And we've also done a few other conversions. If you would like me to send the video that I did, I had a bunk bed style option in here too, so you can sleep up to 4, which was kind of cool. Alrighty, I think that's gonna wrap everything up. You do have one little roof fan up here that I just wanted to point out, which has the options of, holding a temperature, sucking out hot air, and or sucking in cool air. So that's kind of nice, just because you don't have a heater or an AC unit on here. But that doesn't mean you can't get one. You can go ahead and plug it into that EcoFlow to kind of help heat and cool, depending on what season you're in. And then you also have the dash heat up here as well, and the AC to kind of cool it down. Alrighty, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it on really quick. Alrighty, well, keep in mind, this is a 2023 used Winnebago adventure van. So right now we're sitting at, it said 833 miles, so very low mileage. We have a great price on it right now. So if you guys are interested, you can go ahead and reach out to me. My name's Taylor and my information will be below. But before we get too into that, let's just go over the little steering wheel configurations. Super simple. I know I already went for the seat configurations over here, the heating and the readjusting. Everything right here is going to control your dash up in front of you, that LED dash, so you can go ahead and siphon through all the configurations. There's the mileage. My bad, it's 851. So you can slide through all the goodies here. And then on this side is going to be for your big touchscreen. So you can go to the home, slide through, go through your radio, navigation, and you can also go through all the settings for the chassis for your ESP, for the parking, your other assistance as far as the camera, traffic sign assist, your active lane assist, turning on and off, and then also that active brake assist. But I like how they give you the option to control both while keeping your hands on the wheel. And then down below here we have our hazard lights, heating and cooling. This is that secondary door press I was talking to you guys about. You just go ahead and push it and it will either open or close that door for you. Plenty full cup holders, and then down below here is just a little spot where you can put your key. Sometimes it will give you a fit and it'll say you don't have your key in the vehicle, and it just kind of needs to be put in there to have a nice little reset on it. But other than that, you don't really need to put it there. And then lastly, you just have your parking brake right here, which does get in the way when you're trying to swivel this chair, so you just want to make sure the parking brake is down if you do want to go ahead and swivel the chair. And then we just have more lights and storage up above here, as well as more additional storage up here, which you guys probably seen, but I haven't actually pointed out. So I just wanted to go ahead and wrap that up as far as all the storage. Very cool van, awesome price, has some awesome new decals, kind of freshen it up. So if you guys had any comments, questions, or concerns, you can reach out to me. My name's Taylor. Any other questions or something that I missed, it's always something that I missed, so you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to answer any of those questions, comments, or concerns you have. So give me a shout at 970-388-7937. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and have a good day.